Well, I guess if we look at it in terms of how I feel about it, I feel like I've been roped in. This is the Kings of Rice,
Is Ultima?
and this is MGT Cast. It's been a while in MGT Cast, and that in the sentiment of being roped in is not really gonna change anything.
No, man. I don't see what's so wrong about it.
Well, there's nothing wrong with it. I just don't think I'm the right person for this. And it seems odd that I'm, I being a a fan of anime and otaku for over 20 years at this point. It seems kind of strange that I wouldn't be able to handle this kind of thing. And and for those who are wondering, I can only be talking about one thing, and that's waifus. And for those of you who don't know, I'm going to use the Urban Dictionary definition for the term of waifu. A waifu is a term coined by otaku and weebo alike for their 2D significant others, predominantly anime and video game characters, which today we are not doing video game characters, just anime. So basically, treat your waifu as you would treat a wife, like how you should
Yeah.
treat a wife.
Yeah.
So that means no multiple waifus, just one. And because we considered that to be a little bit boring, weirdly enough,
Well, it's just like, we're gonna just talk about one character. It's like, nah, man, nah.
because that's too much. That's too much to dive. That's too much to go into, and I already
Yeah.
don't want to do this.
We're
So
inclusive here at MGT.
so we decided to go with five, like, well, how would I put it? In my terms, five that I could start off getting along with. Is that how I would put it? I don't know. It's hard.
I
It's
don't
hard to
know.
say. It's hard to say for sure, like what it actually is. Um, so yeah, we've picked five characters across. For me, it's like it, across like 20 years of anime. Although I don't think any of a lot of these are not even really. I don't even think they're 5 to 6 years old yet, as far as I know. I think.
I have one that's pretty old. That's about it. The rest are pretty.
Well, at least if we look at
Solid.
it this way, for those of you who know our I guess you can say our stance on video game eras.
Yeah.
I'm a more modern person, so I tend to move with the times.
Yeah.
Whereas Ultima kind of floats in between, and then Blue Guy being the classic man that he is.
Nostalgia man.
Is it overrated?
Do,
Yes.
do, do,
Made a video
do,
about
do,
that.
Anyway,
Well, we're not here to talk about that.
also we're gonna get this man to do video game waifus later, but this is just anime. Just
Video game
anime.
waifu. That's gonna be even harder because I don't think I'll be able to participate in that one.
Dude, come on. We can narrow it down though, because
It's already hard enough to do this.
Play games. We could bring it down to like 3 for that one. Anyway, so before anyone says, "How dare you have more than one waifu?" This isn't like, this is like, man, the saying, "There's plenty of fish in the sea."
Mm.
It's like that, because you got to make your decision, man. You got to cast your reel. You got to decide. So like it's just us, like, we're sort of feeling out we're feeling out the crowd, seeing what's out there. as
Yeah, because
waifu
it seems
material.
like for me, like I think the better way to explain it would be like girls I could meet and then easily befriend, because like get to know them really easy. Because I'm not a hard person to get along with. I guess in a way, I guess I could use a word here. I'm pretty chivalrous in this matter.
Yeah.
I've got more pure intentions than most people. And I don't consider myself to be that great of a person. So,
But you're the nicest person I'll ever meet.
and that's the thing that never that's the thing that's gonna always be true till the day I die. So we're did we already say we're doing 5?
Yeah,
Okay.
5. We're gonna go back and forth.
Yeah, we're gonna do alternate. We're gonna do some alternation. Is that a word?
Yeah.
Um, we're gonna go back and forth until we hit 10. Who would you say was going first again? Because
You are?
we did this
Yeah.
we decided who was gonna go first
You won the
already.
coin flip.
I won the coin flip.
Yeah. So
Okay.
you go first.
And in mine, this is not in any specific order. So this is
Yeah.
this is not a ranking, by the way, because
Isn't a ranking,
it was already hard enough for me to pick a subject for this, to pick subjects for this. Um, like I'm not about to rank these. I'm not about to rank these because that's already more work than I needed. So we're going to start. Let's start with the most homely girl on here. It's like she comes from. This was probably a show from like probably 2 years ago. This show is it's called me. You know what? I don't have it in me to pronounce the name of this show in the Japanese term. So the translated title is Engaged the Unidentified. And the girl I'm talking about is the female protagonist of the series. Her name is Kobeni Yonamori. And to give a paint this picture. She's appearance, light pink hair, violet eyes, slightly pale. I don't really care that anyone knows. I mean, you can't see the scar that she has with her clothes on. She's generally sweet. What the delicious?
What?
This word is in this bio. Kobeni is a generally sweet, delicious, optimistic girl. However, she is capable of being scatterbrained at times, even when something doesn't go exactly as planned. She manages to shrug it off and carry on. And she takes everything in her stride. So basically, like, I think of all the girls on here, she's the most normal, and I think the fact that she's the most normal, probably the one I can get along with the easiest because she's the most normal. She's very housewifey. So like, so she knows what goes down in normal life. She's not stuck on the big things. You know what I mean? It's like, it's just, what do I need done that will make everybody happy? And then make her day easier. So like, granted, at the same time, she's not very athletic, which I'm not either. I mean, everyone was athletic at one point as children. Children love to run around. But yeah, I'm not overly, not overly athletic, and so I mean, what is it? Like, I guess her selling point. I guess in the show, like, she's got the running gag is she's got a large chest, so it comes as a surprise, and she's always worried about gaining weight, and all that stuff. Sounds too much like a profile.
Here's your profile.
And like, I guess because like I said, like I'm going with all 5 of these as if like I could get along with these people really well, in contrast to my own personality.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I guess that's the first pick for me. I mean, she's pretty like, I guess as a person, she's at a very basic homely level.
So you're saying she's basic? No, I'm just kidding.
No, she's actually better than a basic bitch. I guess that's all I got from for the first pick, at least.
And with the first round pick, anyway. Okay. So, all right. Do we say the anime first?
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, never
Or do you
mind.
have more?
Never
Okay.
mind. False alarm. I thought I
False
wasn't
alarm.
recording for a second.
Oh man, that's always the worst, isn't it?
And then when I saw the button that said stop recording, I was like, okay, good. I damn near shot myself.
Now you might have to help me with these names as we go along.
Figuratively, not literally. I don't even have a. Because we live in California, it's hard to own a gun in California.
Anyway, all right. So you might have to help me with the name if I get it wrong. I'm sure you can correct me.
Hopefully.
So the show is working,
Uh huh.
and it was Papura
Oh. Uh.
Taneshima.
Popura Tanishima.
Yeah, Papura Taneshima. So let's see. She has bubbly personality, is constantly frustrated when people think she's middle or elementary school. Basically, she's super duper short.
She's like the under the 5 foot mark. That's
Yeah.
that's like we're talking about like what in like in reality terms it's like midget.
Um, she always wants everyone to get along. She's also somewhat oblivious, and completely unaware of one Sato's feelings for Yachio.
Yachio?
Yeah, and why he messes with her hair. She's really worried about her height and measures herself almost every day. Though as of the series finale, she has finally grown taller. I guess she's. I don't know. The way that show works is it's like I guess she's not the main protagonist, but I don't know. That whole show is just kind of about.
Well,
everyone in the restaurant.
it's paneled.
Yeah.
It's like I know correct. Maybe like if someone sees this show, they may correct me, but it's like I believe it's a 4 coma panel.
Okay.
And you know what? Because she belongs to the main cast. I don't. She belongs to the main cast. She's a main support, I guess. Well, no, people will probably shrug it off and say, "No, no, she plays a big part in the story." Well, technically, everyone else in the restaurant does. So she's part of. Let's just leave her as part of the main cast, and I'll let her designation to be up in the air.
Yeah. She's. I just in the show. I just thought it was like. I don't know. I just really like how she always, I feel like she was always like looking out for everyone, or she was always just trying to help.
She's like real. She's like despite her demeanor and like what she looks like, she tries to be real responsible and
Yeah.
big sister-ish. Even though like you know what
Even
she
though
was like.
she's super small, she just tried to be big sister-ish. I don't know. I don't know. I just always enjoyed her character, and I don't know. I just like that. See, I don't know if it's like as much as like, oh, I can see myself easily getting along with her. I mean, I do, but at the same time, I think it's more just like, wow, I think that's really nice how she, tries to be such a, like she worries about everyone.
Oh yeah, like that's the better quality of her. She's
like a caregiver.
She cares too much.
Yeah. I don't know what else to say. She's super short. Super. I thought just like, oh, she's cute. It's a little cute. Anyway. I guess that's it for that one. I don't know what else to say, unless you have anything interesting to add about the character. I don't really know anything else. I know she becomes like. She gets a different position at the end of the show.
Yeah, she becomes basically she becomes the.
No, not the assistant manager.
No, I guess you could say because if you got the store manager, then she's the floor manager.
Yeah.
I guess in reality terms, I don't remember what the term they used was, but I just want to say it's a floor manager.
Yeah.
Because you got a manager for the whole. You got a manager for the whole restaurant, but then you got just the floor manager.
All right, man.
I wonder.
This next one.
I wonder if I should take it super mainstream for the next one.
Oh, actually, yeah, I think so.
Okay, so I guess we're gonna move into super mainstream because this one is a very popular. She's part one of the. Okay. She's part of one of the longest running anime I've ever seen, and if you watch any sort of anime at any length, you know what Naruto is.
Naruto.
Whether you watch it or not, you know it exists. There are plenty of characters in that show that you can choose to be on this list, but I've decided to go with. Well, actually, I kind of. It's not that I didn't. It's not like I disliked all the other female characters in the show. It's just like I said. Like I think I'd get along with this. I think I'd get along with her the easiest,
Mm-hmm.
and build up like build up a friendly relationship from there. And that's Hinata Hyuga, or as people who know the show till the end, she is now Hinata Uzumaki. So though she's married to Naruto. Um, a
I'll
quick,
tell you what, man. Those eyes are terrifying.
yeah. Let me give you a little bit of background on her. She's the oldest daughter of Hiyashi Hyuga. Um, the Hyuga clan is basically in the Leaf Village they have their government, and it's like the Leaf Village's great clans or something like that. Um, like the two contrasting clans, they got the Uchiha clan, which they're all dead. Um, they're basically all dead. Sasuke still lives. Sasuke and his daughter. Spoiler alert. No, it's not spoilers anymore. Show's done already. Well, no, show's not done. The story is done, technically, main story. Um, let's see. Hinata was raised to be its heiress, and her family expected great things from her. But at a young age, she started to become clear that to some of the Hyuga that Hinata was not suited for the role of heiress, as she struggled against her father in training sessions, and her timid personality prevented her from excelling. Um, so, um, there is no doubt that she had some misgivings at the beginning. Um, but she is like if you see her toward the end, like in the fourth grade ninja war, like she can hold her own. She definitely got stronger, you know, with a certain person's influence, and for most mainstream watchers, they should it should already be known, like who she is and what she does, and she's got those those very pale like eyes. But as far as her personality goes, Hinata's a soft-spoken, polite, always addressing other people with proper honorifics. She's deeply kind, always thinking about others' feelings and well-being. She doesn't like being confrontational for any reason. She doesn't like being confrontational about her dislike of confrontational. So basically, she doesn't like confrontations, but at the same time, she also does not like confrontations about her dislike of confrontations. For this reason, she comes off as meek or timid, and and uh, and as her overwhelming kindness can render her unable to respond or act for fear of offending someone. So basically, she's the kind of person that if you're expecting her to do something, she may not do it because she's overly shy. And so I honestly, dude, like I don't know anyone like extremely, extremely, extremely shy. I mean, she's not like extremely, 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 extremely shy. She can hold her own in a conversation. It really just depends on who she's talking with, and it's not really a big deal in my book. It's actually kind of refreshing to know that someone thinks about what they say. That they don't want to you know to badger someone about something if it doesn't need to be said, which is a quality that that I'm fond of in certain people, and certain personalities. So this is probably why I decided to pick her. At the same time, she's again she's moving on as she got older, and then eventually becoming a housewife. She's homely. She's another one of those homely girls later on in her life. Um, you know, which is good. It's always nice to see a girl adapt to
Homelessness.
homelessness. Homelessness sucks. Um, uh, homeliness, really well. So, um, good on her, and then it was it was a good journey seeing her grow up, which is dope. So that's my number. That's my second pick for the candidacy, I guess, is the terrible word we're using right now.
Okay.
Shall we move on?
Yeah, man. That's I think my mainstream one will be the one after this one. But okay. So this one's from the show is God, what's the name? It's My Teenage Romantic Comedy Snafu.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, that has a Japanese name too. I'm not even really sure what it is.
So it's Shizuka Hiratsuka, which is the
Shizuku?
teacher.
The teacher.
Teacher.
Shizuku Sensei.
Yeah. So, which I feel like this is the one where I was like, this one might be a little weird. But one, I find the character humorous. Was first of all, granted that I'm sure in the for the people in the show it's not as funny, but I find the character humorous. But like you have this kid, what's the main character's name? Hachiman or something?
Yeah, Hachiman, or
Hachiman.
we'll just go with that because I
Hachiman.
don't know his full name.
What kind of Digimon is that? Hachiman. No, I'm just kidding.
His name is
he is-
Hikigaya. Hachimani Hikigaya.
Yeah. Okay. Let's just be real. He's pathetic, right? Not pathetic, but like, dude needs help. Like
He's got personal issues that need looking after.
yeah. And I don't know, like she just goes so out of her way to like try to help him, and honestly, all the students, you know what I mean? Like, she's just like
They're problem children and they don't even know it.
yeah, and but it's just like it's such a like admirable trait, that like it's all these kids and like she's just like trying to help them, make them better,
Mm-hmm.
even though she's got her own issues. She gets mad anytime her age is brought up or how she's not married. She also drives an Aston Martin apparently.
Wow.
I didn't realize that the car in the show was an Aston Martin, but according to this,
Is it a fucking Aston Martin?
it's an Aston Martin, 2005 Aston Martin V8 Vantage.
That's an expensive car. How did she get that on a teacher's salary?
I don't know.
That's like a... Okay. Did you say 2007?
2005.
2005? Just keep going.
Let's see. What does it say about her abilities? Ooh, she's said to be excellent at martial arts, and is mentioned in the light novel, which is shown by her way of throwing a devastating punch and kick. And her skull clutch is described as an iron hold. She enjoys reading shonen manga, and to the extent that she often quotes her copy scenes from them. And yeah, I don't know. I thought she was really cool, and a funny part of the show, and like I think it's one of those things. It's like you all wish you had a teacher like that just looked out for you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Admirable traits and qualities, I think, is what I've been going with. As I'm going through this list.
Despite her shortcomings.
Yeah. But like it's one of those things that's like, at her core she seems like,
She's a proper person at her core. She's also at the same time she's also a problem child herself.
But hey, I mean, some of these things are relatable, like, oh yeah, no, we don't know her age, just that she's between 25 and younger than 30.
So she's in a 5 year range. We don't know what it is though.
Yeah, because I guess after 25 in Japan, women are seen as like too old to be married.
Yeah, that's a
So
stigma.
so that's why like so she's younger than 30, but I guess she's over 25, so that's why like her age is never specifically stated because obviously she gets
But then she feels grief over it because she might be close to that age. She's at that age.
yeah. I
It
don't
makes
know.
it easier to
That's
it makes it easier to pinpoint her age a little bit.
yeah. I don't know. That's also like a relatable like disappointment.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's I feel like that was the one that would be like what? Because I don't know. I guess she's a supporting character. Not
Yeah,
a main character
because
at
we
all.
got
I
the
guess
we
the main character of the three. And then,
yeah, because you got the
yeah,
main cast, which is the three,
yeah.
and you got the main supporting cast, which she belongs to. I guess if that's the term. All right, so you're done, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so just a little bit of background because she apparently drives an Aston Martin V8 Vantage, brand new at the time. In American currency, it is 106,000. It's $106,000 car.
Holy cow.
Okay, and then in yen, that's an 11 million yen car.
Well, to be fair,
To be specific, it's 11,086,242 Japanese yen. So,
one thought would be she's at least 25, potentially 29. If she's single, she's she might have a lot of expendable income because
but at the same time, we're talking brand new. That doesn't even account for the fact that she probably bought it fucking used
yeah.
because I did watch a lot of UK Top Gear,
Hmm.
and they've said that like as soon as you drive some of these like really expensive cars off the lot, they lose value like you wouldn't believe. Like the at a certain mileage, a car's value just plummets.
Mm,
So like you can possibly get, depending on the situation, you could get a top of the line Mercedes, like an AMG, for like 20 grand, depending on the circumstance. Like 20 between 20 and 40 grand, and that's like crazy. That's a crazy amount of money, like off, considering. All right, so I don't get any further away from the subject. My next pick is let's see, how old is this one? This one is 2006, so this was the tenure of high school for us, basically our final year in high school.
yeah.
Um,
This will be interesting to hear. That's old. That's kind of old. That's like 10
well,
years.
yeah, that's 10 years. I said they might have not even been about 6 to 7 years, but this was actually 10 years old in February.
Hmm.
Um, and I'm gonna go with my pick of, her name is Saki Miyanaga from the aptly titled Saki, which is the title of the show. So she's the
Who's the titular character?
yeah, and believe it or not, this is a show about competitive mahjong.
Oh, okay.
So
You shouldn't be part of this show.
yeah, I did. It actually caught me in a way that it didn't. Like at first, I'm like, why would you watch a show about mahjong? But then like I really got into it and I really liked it. Let me see if I can find the characters really quick. So she's part of Kiyosumi High School. Okay, she's a first-year student and is the titular character of the story. When originally discovered by Kiyosumi's club, she's notorious for her ability to finish plus minus zero. So basically, she's when you play mahjong, because okay, let me just keep reading it. It's actually finishing with the same score she started with. So basically, so everyone starts with a certain amount of points. Say if we start out with 400, right?
Hmm.
She starts the game at 400, ends the game at 400. This came about out of playing with her family when she was younger. I would not get any candy if I lose, but they would get angry if I win too many times. So, and her motivation eventually for wanting to, because she hated mahjong for all those reasons. Um, but she realized her sister, her big sister, Teru Miyanaga, who is a top-ranked professional mahjong player, she wanted to see her sister again. That was like that's like her one of her big motivations on top of like showing like her going on best friend at this point, Noriko Haramura, that she can play with the best of them and like prove it. Outside of her abilities, she tends to be pretty quiet. She gets lost really easy. She gets lost inside buildings. Let alone, obviously, if she gets lost inside of a convention center, basically convention center style building, she's gonna get lost out in the fucking wild. You know what I mean? She's another one. Again, she's another one of those girls who's really quiet, reserved. She's kind of like Hinata in a way, where she's quiet and reserved, but at the same time, unlike Hinata, she's not at any point. It seems like she's the kind of person who would not be afraid to talk if it had to come down to it. But at the same time, her quiet demeanor becomes her confidence, because she knows, because whether or not they say it, she's referred to as a monster in the show.
Damn.
Yeah, she is considered. So she beat a character named Amane Koromo, and that girl in the show was considered a national class monster in the mahjong circuit with under professionals, and even professionals consider that girl a monster. And Saki Miyanaga beat her at mahjong, thus making her a complete and utter demon.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I picked her because at the same time she's got that competitive spirit, right? When she really gets into it, she sees it through to the end, and she's not afraid to lose a few to win the whole thing. You know what I mean? It's not like, she's really good at testing the waters, seeing how an enemy's plan will play out, and then working her ability to play the field, and then eventually taking the whole game for herself. So I can that quiet demeanor is like kind of what makes people unsuspecting of her, and that's like something I respect in a person, is a quiet competitive spirit, because not everyone's meant to be a hard ass when it comes to competition. It's just like, if it gets your blood boiling, you go for it. You know what I mean? That's something and Ultima knows that I do have competitive spirit.
Yeah.
And like,
that's for sure.
And because I'm one of those people that I think, therefore I am, and because I am.
Wouldn't let me win.
Huh?
He said he wouldn't let me win if I needed to win.
No, I wouldn't. Like I said, I'm one of those people who thinks, and therefore I am, because I am better than you.
Who do you think you are? I am.
Yeah, basically. So yeah, this is, so yeah, that's mainly like, another thing, and at the same time she's easy to talk to, engage. Although she's quiet, and she's, very soft spoken, avid bookworm, terrible sense of direction. But
okay,
that's it.
Okie dokie. So this one's more like for old time's sake.
Oh god, there's something in my eye.
It's like an old
eyelash
for old time sentimental sake. You always have your first waifu. Well, I guess some people would say, no, you have one and that's it. But
your first waifu, damn.
Yeah,
divorce is real.
You always have your first waifu.
Divorce is real.
I know.
It's terrible. You become a terrible person.
Growing up as a young boy, I used to watch a show many of you know of called Sailor Moon. And I always had a thing back in the day for Sailor Venus. I don't know. Man. I wish I could say a ton of stuff about it. What I remember from the show was, because I did end up watching the show with subtitles
Mm-hmm.
before. Um, they, so like probably one of the bigger things with Sailor Venus in the you know how much they like not changed, but they really kind of cut stuff in the original running of Sailor Moon.
The Americanization,
Yeah.
bastardization, as some people will call it.
Yeah.
That's
So
too harsh a
like
word.
they
Americanization works just
completely
fine.
cut out Sailor Venus's like whole backstory, like her whole like where she was coming from before this, what happened, like, and it's a super dramatic like story where like she likes this guy and like I don't know they were like I think they were oh man it's hard to remember but like anyway it was like it was like really important to the character and they just cut it and and then everyone let's point out is like they sort of changed the way her character was a little bit in the American version. Like she's a little more less serious, I guess. I don't know. But I don't know. I always thought I don't know. She had cool powers. I thought. I like the meteor shower stuff. I can't lie. There's not a lot of substance to this one. This one's just purely sentimental, like back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like
Oh man, I remember that. It was so
yeah,
cool.
bro. I remember. Remember? You remember? But yeah, so she, and also it's kind of cool the way she shows up. Like they're just getting their faces wrecked. Darian's been like stabbed, and they're all getting trapped in like this giant like whatever like bubble, and then like she just shows up and like blasts Zoisite's hands off, not off, but Zoisite, who was actually a man, I guess, not a woman, right?
Who, Zoisite?
Yeah, that was actually a man.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a man.
Supposed to be a man.
The
Male, female, and original
the Americanization reanimated Zoisite as a female.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Although to be fair, I feel like most of it was just let's just give her a girl voice and hope people are just okay with that.
Well, back then a lot of people didn't actually really know, so I mean.
Yeah, I mean to be fair, she looked pretty.
Because if you think about it,
feminine.
if you think about it, Sailor Moon is fucking the '90s, like early '90s, at best. So yeah, that internet wasn't very involved back then.
Probably the coolest thing is she was the first one to get her powers, at least in the original.
Yeah,
because Sailor V was already a thing.
Yeah, because she was already stalking around as Sailor V.
Yeah, and but she
and I believe she's supposed to be the. I believe
England.
she's supposed to be like the captain of the guard too when it came to the sailor soldiers.
Yeah. And so she came from England.
Yes.
She had her own cat.
His name is Artemis.
His name was Artemis. And it turned out he was mission control.
Boy cat.
Do you remember when they found out that Artemis was mission control? I feel like it was when we found out Hornswoggle was the anonymous Raw general manager.
Yeah, and that a Shiba Inu was controlling fucking Silent Hill 2.
Yeah.
Oh God.
We're crossing too many fandoms all of a sudden. But anyway, yeah.
Wicked Witch. I am Oz. That's going way too far back.
Yeah, she's not a main character at all. I'd actually say, especially since they cut out like her big episode, like she probably gets some of the least amount of character development, at least in the American version. In the regular version, She's probably right around there with Mercury and Jupiter.
But at the same time, the new series did right the wrongs of the Americanization of the show itself.
Okay.
So
I still haven't got around to this.
I
I still plan
believe
on it eventually.
I believe that that's what happened because I did see tidbits. I didn't watch it. I will eventually watch it. I am a
Yeah,
fan
same here.
too. I did grow up watching Sailor Moon.
Let's see. if there's
Elementary
any-
school. Before I went to school, Sailor Moon was on.
Is there a? Um, let's see. It says she was a very silly character at times, but she could be more serious. This was especially true in the first season, and specifically episodes 42, 100, and 109. She was also infamous for using mixed-up proverbs in the anime, and sometimes referred to herself as the goddess of love, a title which she used to try to solve others' love woes. She was similar to Serena. She was an academic, or sorry, Usagi, whichever you want to call it, academic underachiever, and would refer to Serena as her makeup test partner. She was much more athletic, though, and coordinated, obviously, than Serena. She was competent at speaking English, also, but she spent her time at Sailor V in London in the anime. So yeah, that's it. That was just a sentimental pick. That was the first waifu back in the day. You know, you're a young boy and you're like, wow, this anime girl's pretty. And I thought she had a funny character sometimes. And she wasn't annoying like Sailor Mars. God, I hate Sailor Mars. That's just me though. No offense to anyone who hates Sailor Mars. I mean, loves Sailor Mars. Of course, I wouldn't be offensive to people who hate the same character I do. I don't know.
All right.
What's your number? Is this 3? No, you're
4.
number 3? Oh, you're 4. That was my 3rd. Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, my next pick comes from the series that is that had a really good running when its original when its anime first started its run in October 9, 2012. So this one's still fairly new. This one's actually still. I think this is the newest one on this list, I believe. No, actually no, it's the second newest on this list. And it has also gained a very, very popular movie in Japan. That even though it's out on Blu-ray now, they still show it in the theater. In Japan, it's out on Blu-ray. And we're talking about the show is Girls in Panzer. It's actually one of my. It has slowly become one of my most favorite anime of all time. And and of the main cast, I am talking about Miho Nishizumi, who is actually the anime's main protagonist. Miho is a girl who comes from a long line of tank operators. Previously, she attended, for the sake of I don't like pronouncing this word, it's Koromori Mine, which means basically means Black Forest. And commanded the flag tank in the national championships a year ago against Pravda, which is basically a Russian team. However, after abandoning it to rescue the crew of another tank that had fallen in a river, her tank was knocked out, thus ending a 9-year winning streak by Black Forest. And which at the same time was part of her family, because her family ran that school. And so she's basically shunned by her mother. Shun, you don't get shameless without shame. That's bad. Seamus sucks.
Seamus.
So again, she's one of those. she's another, believe it or not. I tend to, outside of Kobeni Yonomori, who's not like shy and timid.
Uh-huh.
That girl will talk, and but like I seem to be picking girls who are shy and timid because they're they're easier to relate to as far as like I guess as far as like having friends goes.
Yeah.
I mean, in private, I'm super vocal, but at the same time, in public wise, I'm not a very talkative person in public. Like, not even at work. I don't talk a lot at work. So even though I'm on good terms with everybody I work with. So she is, although shy and reluctant, she focuses on battle. And once she focuses on battle, she shows a remarkable talent for keeping her cool, analyzing the battle, and coming up with new strategies on the fly. So basically, she's shy and timid, but at the same time, she takes her position seriously. It's like there's no games. This is competition. I'm here to win. It's more along the serious line than Saki Miyanaga because the amount of competition is different. You're going from mahjong going to tank battle.
Hmm.
Granted, they shoot live shells at each other, and that's some crazy shit. So like another one like she also is another one who's really after seeing her interact with all of her teammates, even some of her rival characters, she is like although reluctant at first, she's down to she's down for the conversations basically, and it's not and at the same time a lot of the younger students, she's the second year in high school by the way, and a lot of her kohai underclassmen, they really look up to her because of her leadership. So she's a really good example as a person, as a person in like in leadership.
Leader. Yeah.
And it's like a really good person to admire. Although she doesn't, at the same time, she doesn't believe she belongs in the position because of her brash actions. At times during tank battles, like I said, like she, her family's school is very stern. It's like militaristic almost, and one of her teammates' tanks, it got caught off on a crag and it started to slide off the side of a cliff into a raging river during a storm.
Mm-hmm.
And so in order to save them, she abandoned her tank. She abandoned her post as the flag tank, and then it got taken out, thus losing them the battle and ending a 9-year win streak. For her family's school. So her at the same time, her personality is really admirable. So she doesn't give a shit about the game itself if no one is safe.
Yeah.
It's another admirable thing. Like she's hardworking, she's competitive, but at the same time she cares. So, that's one of the more remarkable qualities in a person. Respect is the only thing I can really offer in this case, because she's, despite what she believes, I believe she's it may not work out at first, but I consider her to be brilliant. So she worked through she often worked through it. Sometimes she's wrong, and then she always works her way around it and then comes to victory.
Right.
So yeah, I mean it's Miho Nishizumi.
Okay. Oh man, this is the one I feel like I'm gonna get judged for. So I'm ready. I'm ready for the judgment, man. I don't know if you know I watched the show actually, because this is one of the few anime I watched without your without like getting it from you. I just came across it and I was like, yeah, I'll watch it. So, so high school D&D. I don't know if I ever talked to you about this show. What's it? Akino Himejima? Himejima? Akino?
Kino.
She's the...
Her name is Akino Himejima.
Yeah. She's quote unquote Priestess of Thunder. You know, she's like I think she's the vice president of the
She is the
club.
vice president of the club.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know I don't know that much about the show, but I know enough that I don't know. I mean, granted, I don't know enough. I can hold a complete conversation, but I know enough on a basic level.
Yeah. Let's see. So describe her. She's a beautiful young woman with a voluptuous figure, around the same age as Reese, with very long black hair and violet eyes. She's first seen to be very elegant and gentle, but is in fact highly sadistic in battle and doesn't show any mercy or remorse towards the enemies she slays. She also loves to tease Issei and what is the girl's name? Gromori? The Gromori chick? Reese?
Reese? I don't know. Fuck, I have to watch the show.
Anyway, Akino is also stated that she has some masochism in her as well. She's shown to be somewhat vulgar, flirting with Issei as such, and doesn't care if Rias knows or saw her doing the act, but does care enough not to steal him away from her. So she's the only child of a Shinto priestess and a fallen angel.
Okay, that's at the same time I'm thinking to myself, she's a Shinto priestess and she's sadistic and outwardly masochistic. That seems strange to me, but at the same time you said she's a half fallen angel, so it makes sense.
Yeah, she's a fallen angel human hybrid and reincarnated devil. Oh, so I think what's her name was revived her then?
Yeah.
She's like, so she's basically the second in command. She's kind of like as far as the people in the club go, she's like the third most important character behind the two main characters, which is Issei and the other girl. She's super duper strong in fights.
Oh god. Hold on. I'm sitting in this weird position. Weird noises.
Super strong in fights.
Frights?
Super duper strong in fights.
Frights. I'm gonna take the fright elevator.
I can't lie. Part of this one's a little bit part of this is a little bit eye candy, but I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with that.
Well, no, because
I mean, I think you gotta have a well-rounded crew to when you pick from.
I guess.
But she also has like this really dramatic backstory that you find out like way later in the show.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it's one of those things where you're just like, oh, God, you need a hug, you know, like, it's just like, oh, and it's like, what was that? I don't remember what this was originally from, but it was like, oh, dude, she could fight my battles for me. Oh, freaking, it was Shanghai Nights, wasn't it?
Oh right, yeah, because of fucking what's her name?
Yeah, because of Jackie Chan's sister.
Yeah, it was like because he can't fight for shit.
Yeah, she's like, oh, she could fight my battles for me, dude. Like totally same thing. It's like, wow, she's awesome, and she could fight my battles for me.
That's terrible. That's terrible.
You're like, you know what? I actually wasn't judging you until then.
That's terrible.
So that was the part.
Honestly, dude. Like, honestly, I'm very content normally, and you're just like suddenly you show like you show weakness. Like I said, I'm normally a very reasonable person.
There's a little Royal Bannon in all of us.
Ah, well.
Mine's the whole gotta fight my battles for me. I didn't know the
Well,
show
I
was in
mean, I guess
English.
the quality I share with Roy O'Bannon is that he's a liar. I'm a pretty good liar.
uh, oh, also she had a different voice actress in season 3 of the English stuff. But I watched it subtitled.
You watched the whole thing?
Yeah, I watched all 3 seasons.
Okay.
I liked it a lot. It was really good. It's a little
Oh, I know what it is.
unless if you're easily like, oh, this is too like,
Sexualized?
yeah, like
I
if
mean,
that gets to you, then you won't like it. But like, I don't think it's. I didn't think it detracted from the show. I still thought like everything else in the show was really done really well.
well, I mean, you know,
And I thought I had like good.
at times, like, not to take from the show or anything, because it's like,
Yeah.
all right, because there's, okay, there's one thing, because there are shows that do it overly
Yeah.
gratuitous sexuality, but at the same time, there are also shows that are over gratuitous with violence,
Yeah.
and you have to wonder to yourself, because why doesn't this work over this, or why does that work over this?
Yeah.
Like, you know, what the fuck, like,
It's definitely probably it's gratuitous.
it's
Definitely,
critic bait, is what it is.
for sure.
It's
But
critic bait.
I think at its core, it's a good show, and I like the characters, and I think she's probably one of my favorite characters, especially as they go more into her backstory. It's just like, I don't know. She has is another one of those things that's like she probably has some of the best character development in the show, even though it takes a while to get there. But like, she really opens up and you find out like, all this stuff about her, and it's like, wow. So yeah, that's her. It's probably the nicest one to look at on the list, for whatever that's worth. Whenever we make our final decisions, which I'm sure I'll never get you to do.
No.
Uh,
So, this fifth pick is a little strange, even for my taste. Although, I found the character to be so outwardly pathetic, it grew on me. Um,
oh, you saved that one for last.
and you
huh?
can't, like, well, I can't remark that she doesn't have an awkward cuteness to her. As I'm talking about, or as the honestly, dude, like, I'm at the point where the whole like enunciating this whole Japanese longness,
Yeah.
and so it translates out to, no matter how I look at it, you guys, it's your guys' fault that I'm not popular, and
Uh-huh.
then the show's translation they had dumbed it down to commonly referred to as Watamote. And the character I picked, her name is Tomoko Kuroki. Outwardly, person is just like, honestly, questionable choice, but at the same time, like, she is the main character of the show, the Watamote. Tomoko is often depicted as a desperate, lonely, deranged girl who is characterized by social anxiety, vivid facial expressions, and bags under her eyes. She has a grim outlook on life, as her thoughts involve insulting others or herself. She plays most of her days playing Ultima games and browsing the web. So, and for those of you who don't know, I mean, any otaku who watches, any person who labeled himself as such knows what an Ultima game is. It's basically a reverse eroge, which is like a dating sim for girls. Where instead of the characters being girls, they're guys. She spends her life within this space that she believes in, what she thinks would work, should and always work. Like, she always expected herself to have friends by the time she made it. Like, she wanted to be like, people flocking to her, like, oh, you're. I'm not gonna say massively popular, because that's just like the way she is. That's just not like possible. Like, I think she would be content with being moderately popular, although she doesn't she doesn't have that outlook. Um, but granted, like she's not like popular at all whatsoever, and like um, uh, though she does have a really like she does have a best friend that that was like her at one point, and then I think she changed her outlook, and she's got like I don't know a voluptuous body, I guess if I remember correctly, I guess is the word,
Mm-hmm.
and she has a boyfriend, I think, which is weird, which weirded her out, but they're friends regardless. Um, so the reason, like I said, she's so outwardly fucking, she's so outwardly pathetic. And at the same time, it's like awkwardly cute at the same time
Mm-hmm.
because she's the type of girl who will look in the mirror and goes, "Damn, I am kind of pretty, ain't I?"
Damn.
Yeah, self assured at the same time. Not a like I said, she's like there's not a lot of qualities you would admire in this kind of person, but like at the same time, the fact that she's so self assured in herself, but then it backfires on her. Like it's kind of an awkward yet cute quality, and like at the same time, I did tell you at one point that she's so pathetic. I just want to hug her, and like um, if I took anything from Accelerator from Index, that's basically like the line. If I believed you were serious, I would hold you tight.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you said it never let go, but yeah, like at the same, as she tries to improve her social status, it backfires on her a lot, and like it kind of makes you feel sorry for her, but at the same time, like she kind of puts herself in these situations. Um, like there was this one interaction with her brother, like she just wanted some human contact with her younger brother,
Mm-hmm.
and she kind of she kind of had this coming, but she barged into his room while he was just relaxing, and then she just like was trying to play his video game systems, and she was trying to get him to play games, and he was like he didn't want her in there, he's like leave, blah blah blah, and then like I don't remember how exactly the thing goes, and then he goes, and then he tells her to leave in a certain way, and she goes, all right, fine, I guess I'll just go kill myself. Like very outwardly weird. Like I mean, granted, a lot of people like uh, you know, it's like red flags and all that, but like at the same time, she's the kind of person that'll say like she'll be willing to kill herself, but at the same time, she would never be able to go through with it. Um,
Damn.
yeah,
Damn.
she talks big, let's just say. Um, and weird enough, if you look at a picture of Tomoko,
Mm-hmm.
her and her brother look alike as far as like like they have the same color eyes and stuff. Like they have black hair. Her brother has short black hair, green eyes, but at the same time they share the trait of having dark bags under their eyes. Even though her brother is like considered a regular person, like he's got a circle of friends and all that. He's moderately popular in school, and he plays soccer. You know what I mean? He's one of the high school soccer. He's one of the school soccer players at the school he goes to. I think he's in middle school still. But yeah, um, yeah, and it's funny at the same time. Her mother doesn't look anything like her. Like she just looks like a regular person. But like I said, isn't that it's? I honestly think like I could hold like some long conversations with this girl. It's kind of like um, I don't know anyone. I didn't know anyone remotely like this in high school, but I knew someone who had like similar, less intense qualities of a similar kind.
Okay.
So like that's the reason why like I think I would be able to I would be able to hit it off with this person just starting off in a friendly banter. Um, granted honestly doesn't she granted she thinks to herself a lot, so she doesn't really talk out loud like in public,
Mm.
because there was an episode where she went to go to a fast food spot, and the girl at the counter was like, so what would you like? And she was just like, she's talking like a mouse and shit. She's like, I want a hamburger. What? I want a hamburger. It's
I saw him.
yeah, basically it's like walking up, I'm whispering in your ear, this is a hamburger.
Where do you see my eye? No, I'm just kidding.
Wow. And that's like the censored version. Wait till you see my. Um, but yeah, that's, you know, overly dark turn. Um, but yeah, I mean, at the same time, it's like, the cringe comedy aside, like, you know, these all five of these girls I could get along with. I guess, well, maybe Tomoko would probably be hard at first to do because she's so outwardly introverted. So, I mean, the rest of these girls would be pretty easy to talk to. This girl would require a little bit of work, but I'd eventually I'd eventually at least be on, talking terms with her. So, like I said, I think the reason why I picked these five is like, I could easily get, not so much easy on the fifth one again, like I said, but I can eventually get around to just having at least friendly relationships with all of them. So, that's my five.
Let's see. Okay. All right then. Well, my final one, candidate, whatever.
Oh.
Misaki Aizawa from The President is a Maid.
Kaicho made sama.
Yeah, Kaicho wa Maid Sama.
Or the president is made, like you said.
So, basically, Misaki is a young girl with an average height and figure. She has light brownish amber eyes with golden tint and black shoulder-length hair.
Hold on, can I just add for a second? Because like the whole eye color thing.
Yeah.
I obviously do, like, when you think about it, like I look at eye color and I go, well, I guess I don't know what colors are.
Yeah.
Because you'll look at a color and be like, oh, is that really almond? No, it's not actually any brown of anything I've ever seen. But apparently it's an almond eye color, and it's like more orange than anything else. Almonds aren't orange, they're brown. But, I digress.
Anyway, so her personality. So before Misaki's dad left her family, she was a gentle, encouraging, and helpful girl. After that, however, she became extremely judgmental towards men and became biased because she thought of them as dirty, unreliable, and inconsiderate.
Man hater.
Since the Aizawa family was in debt, she had to go to an inexpensive school. In order to tame the unruly boys and protect the girls, she works hard and eventually became the first female president through strict studies, wholeheartedly training strength-wise and making a good impression on the teachers. She's extremely strict towards the unruly boys, causing them to hate her. Because of this, she is known as the Demon Prez, due to how harshly she commands the boys. I would also like to say, though, sometimes the guys at that school are...
No, because look, that is the worst. Honestly, dude, like some girls will be like, "Oh, that's how men are." No, men aren't like that. There are men like that, but not everyone. Okay.
I think part of it is like obviously she went to an expensive school, so there's probably more.
It's ghetto. Okay,
Yeah.
it was out. At the same time, it's like outwardly ghetto, but at the same time, it's like it's showing a face of males that don't exist in all males. You know what I mean? Granted, it's a low income school, but still. Like,
Well, obviously, this stems from issues from when she was younger and dad.
yeah,
Like
but at the same time, that's that whole the way that they portray the guys in the show, though. At the same time,
yeah,
that's almost like they're putting the lenses on them. Like, this is how she sees them, and that's how they actually are. Like, even if we're looking at them like, outside of her scope.
Well, there's like two normal guys in the show, right?
Well, I guess if you can call them normal.
Rough. Anyway,
A guy that used to be fat and like he, outwitting loyal and is eating all the time, to the point where they're just like, you need to stop eating. Like, if he stops eating, he'll die. And then we got a guy who plays too many games.
while she's working as a maid, she has to act dainty, sweet, and cute as opposed to her usual rough behavior. Let's see. She is a very hard-working young woman and is sometimes too selfless for her own good when it comes to the safety of others, regardless of the gender, because she can't stand doing quote. This is in quotes, doing nothing when somebody's in danger.
Hmm.
Um, she seems to show a kinder side towards females, which I feel like that's redundant at this point. I think we've already established. Um, yeah. I just remember watching the show and like it was like it. It kind of goes back to like, and this is like one of those things where like everyone, we're all gonna make our different like. This is my basis for like what I'm going off of, and like it just kind of goes back to those admirable quality things. Like, dude, she works so hard,
Hmm.
like for a family, for the school. Like, even though she's like really hard on the guys, like she works hard for them too, and like she's a little rough around the edges, but it's like just one of those things. It's like, yeah, she's rough around the edges, but at her core, like she tries so hard to just like take care of everyone at the extent, and you're just like, oh man, like someone needs to help you though. Like what? It's one of those people that wants to take care of everyone but themselves.
Yeah.
And just like, oh, so much to take care of you, and then that's where dude comes in. But
I don't even think it's like that.
I just well, I know.
Outside
I guess
of
he's the only
even
one that can challenge her. I guess is the only thing.
that's the thing. Like even as like a couple, like it's still the same. Like he doesn't actually really help her, but all he does is just challenge her authority as a human being, or as a person. Challenges her outlook at life. And then like just messes with her. I mean, I guess it's a way to for her to break out of her shell, but at the same time, it's not always the best step.
So, I don't know what like publication this was for, but apparently she was voted the sexiest anime woman in 2010.
What?
I doesn't say what publication that was, so for all it was like some 2-bit anime magazine in Japan, but
Well, I mean, their countdowns normally are contained within like their own media.
yeah. She she's trained in Aikido.
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 Fun fact: that's the same style that Steven Seagal uses.
Oh, okay.
And also apparently CM Punk has a background in.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those things. Like you watch the show and you're just like, man, like, some almost like there's some level of qualities that you almost say like, geez, I wish, I could, like, oh, I wish I took care of others that much, or I wish like I, worked that hard, stuff like, like there's a level of like admiration too, like, I don't know. I just thought she was a really fascinating character, and again, just freaking admirable qualities. That's the name of my game. I just look at her and go, wow. Like I said, obviously she's rough around the edges. So I'm not gonna, none of these characters are perfect. But that's the other important thing. Like, these characters aren't perfect. Like, and I think that's what that's what makes a good character, because like that's makes it more not real. I don't want to say real, because obviously these aren't real people, but you know what I mean. Like, it's a more relatable, more believable character.
Well, yeah, because like it's like how they do in American comics. It's like they're always trying to reinvent the character to make it suit the demographic or to make it more relatable. except like at the same time, because American comics are so ever changing, anime and manga don't have that luxury. Well, I mean, they kind of do, but then the only like workaround they have is to completely change something into something else, which is not normally very desirable. But yeah, I mean, you know, do it to like, especially with these coin terms to be slice of life. They they tend to make a more relatable personalities which people can attach themselves to. Like, oh, I'm like this person, and oh, I'm like this person. Excuse me. It's fucking 1:11 in the morning. Um, but yeah, I mean, I guess in the basis of like shows of thus it's like you said, like it is relatable characters. Although my fifth pick is not horribly relatable to anything. It was like,
They are to someone though.
true. It's more of a bad habit it's a more of a bad habit choice. I seem to be, like what I tend to do. Like, oh, I'm just gonna pick this because it's um. But we get around these things and we move on. And I can't believe this. But yeah, that's 10. That's 10. Fabulous girls from different animes that uh, we have subjected to nonsense. Um, but like I said, this is honestly, dude. Like, even though like I talk like I'm pretty informative, but this is hard for me. Like,
Yeah.
um, like I am in no means a psychol. I have no means uh, a psychologist, but like, you just got to look for these, admirable qualities in people, and like, um, like I chose a very basic like form of coping with this situation, and that's like, it's like, I'm not in it to show that like I'm attached to a character. I'm in it to show I can get along with a character if the character was real. Um, well, some people will take my reasoning, and and drag it through the dirt and say that, oh, you actually, like, why the fuck you lying, why you always lying, and oh my god, why you know um but like, like I said, this is not something like I'm used to. At the same time, it's like why I don't do like anime reviews, because I don't um you don't need me to tell you that something sucks or something's good. Like, you really like if you need me to recommend a show to you, that's fine. But it comes from my own personal preferences. So, I mean, this is I mean, I'm always down to try something new, but this is like what I don't. I don't know if the word is condone, because that seems like there's like a rule that I follow, that there's these rules that I've made for myself, and like, this is something I just don't do. But um, it's just hard for me because of the way I go about watching these shows. So like 20 plus years of like, of living with this media is, has, uh has really moved me in a certain way, where I'm only here to enjoy it now, not to have to deal with the facets that come with it. So
Fading things.
yeah, I can't,
Can't
because look, anime is so different on every level. The scale is ridiculous. Hate it or love it. Like, fucking, this shit's here, but you know, um, please try not to get like, like, it's okay. It's okay. I'm gonna say this from my personal suggestion. Like, try not, like, honestly, like, this is why Japan is suffering a little bit, because of this whole like love with fictional characters. Um, you know, and like I try not to subject myself in the same way where it's like, oh, I can't do anything else. You know what I mean?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I had to look up the name for most of these characters.
You can't even really pronounce them.
I'm like, I had to think of, like, hard about it. It's not like it wasn't like it was like I just went to my drawer, pulled out the list, and was like, yeah, here's the list that I keep constantly, backed out. Like, oh, think about this, because I was like, what animes have I watched? What were characters I really liked? I don't know. So it's not like we were just like, clearly this is the one I've been watching.
Like we're not just easily shooting the breeze.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, it's like,
I'm saying it's like this isn't something that we, that we put a lot of thought into outside this one discussion.
So just to let everyone really know, like I said, like I don't know if I said it in this, because honestly this was a two-take thing, but like this was like a stewing concept over like the last 6 months.
Yeah.
And then like I vehemently like refused to do it because I guess in a way my two co-hosts are more fun. Technically, I guess the word my sisters reuse is more fun than me.
Damn.
I guess in a way, like I guess with certain subject matters, I'm way too stern. Like that's dumb, and I'm not going to do it. You know what I mean?
That's dumb. I'm not doing it.
Yeah. I mean that's not always so bad, but then you restrict yourself from having fun. But like then again, at the same time, like I said, this is hard. This was like even hard, really, really hard for me to do, and like this was like mentioned as a joke. I honestly I assumed you mentioned it as a joke like 6 months ago, and like like you said, it was like for a like you might have said before, it was like for like our 50 or our anniversary episode.
Anniversary episode, yeah.
Like granted, this was like I don't know how long it's been since we last did a cast. I mean, I could check it really quick. I mean, it's been a while since we did a cast. I mean, we've been posting every week, so
yeah.
Without really anything to talk about. Although there's lately there has been a lot to talk about. It's just not any time to talk about it. The last time we did a cast, and which is episode 53, August 10th, 2016.
Holy cow! It's been like 3 months.
Yeah. So, without further ado, the picks are here, the picks are in. This is what we choose. And granted, and I remind you again, this is not us picking. This is not us. These aren't 5 waifus for us. This is. I'm not even considering any of these girls my waifu. Not even in the slightest. They're just like I said, people I could get along with. So.
This is just for funsies, not.
But the internet is.
Sure.
They take things way too far.
The people on the internet will take things too far.
Oh, my you! Oh, shut up and go to bed. Like you're prowling the internet at late at night. Go to bed or something. Without further ado, we hope to do more casts again in the future. Hopefully not in any more like this one.
Yeah. Well, maybe after some Destiny tomorrow, maybe we could figure something out.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
Good luck, guys. Good luck if you're an American citizen. Good luck.
Good luck if you're an American citizen.
Exercise your right.
It's a party.
And vote. And party. And vote.
I'm not even registered to vote. With that said, with that said, this is the Kings of Rice, dude.
This is Aaron, waifu lover Ultima.
Wow. All right. Peace out. Hey, this is Rice, and if you made it all the way through that damn near hour and a half, I forgot it was an hour and a half. I wholeheartedly thank you from the bottom of my heart. And this one was really, really hard for me to post, because this was the last cast I did with Aaron Cerna, aka ZT Ultima, before his untimely passing. But honestly, this video had been sitting on my computer 2 months prior, just trying to figure out a time to post it, really, because despite being I guess an anime otaku, because I really love anime, I really surprisingly enough was actually against the waifu culture, because I thought it was so ridiculous. I mean, he always thought it was so weird that I never had a waifu, despite all the anime that I watch, hundreds and hundreds of hours a year, thousands of hours a year, really. But yeah, honestly, like again, like if you've, I'm not, if you've ever lost someone, it really weighs on you really heavily. And when I realized that this had not been released yet, like, I looked at it, I seen it every time I went through the through our channel's folders, sitting there staring at me saying, you have to post me, and I said, I'll get to it. But it was so hard for me to avoid hearing his voice again. It hurts. I had to calm myself down a few times to while trying to put this video together, even though it's honestly took me like 5 minutes, but I had to make sure like it sounded okay and all that stuff. But I did it finally. Aaron, I hope you're up there, bro. You're probably laughing at me right now. Waifus, man. Waifus. But with that said, if you again made it through this damn near hour and a half cast that we put together, once again, I wholeheartedly thank you from the bottom of my heart, and he probably will be thanking you as well. I guess that's all I got for right now. Again, thank you guys. Peace out.